I'm a parent and think schools shouldn't be allowed to give any homework. They get to decide how my kids spend 8 of their best hours every day. They shouldn't get to tell them what to do when they get home too. If they can't teach them the content in that amount of time, they should lower academic standards. Edit. A lot of people are saying I can homeschool my kids. I am aware. I think my kids' schools and teachers are great, and overall the benefits far outweigh the drawbacks. But this is my opinion on homework. I still appreciate all the experiences and knowledge they are acquiring and wouldn't take them out of their schools just because I'm not 100% in control. And I still make them do homework because I realize this is the world we live in. But it is my opinion that doing away with homework would improve the situation. I'm trying to be modest here, but it's actually quite a lot. Studies have shown that standardized homework is borderline useless, especially for anyone in middle or elementary school. In high school, it benefits you, but only slightly. Not as much as people seem to think it does. Some studies disagree, but the vast majority seem to believe homework actually helping anyone is the equivalent of an old wives' tale. I ended up going to an experimental high school that was 4-hour school days, no homework, and had a class that called E2020 where it was an online-based learning that you can complete as many credits as you wanted, so I was able to complete 3 years of credits in 8 months. Best school experience ever. I was never stressed out and I had a shitload of free time after school. I live in the non-third world country with the worst education system in the world, and I agree so much. A lot of different class, a lot of hours, and a lot of hours in the best way to set up kids to fail school. How my country handles that is that the requirement to pass is 50%. That's pathetic. The amount of homework UK schools give is insane, especially even in GCSE year when we're stressing classwork and about 10 homeworks per week. On top of that we have 8 to 6 days most days, including sports, luckily, and have half-day Saturday school, then sports fixtures. If we're away we're back at about 6, meaning we literally have 1 day of rest. It's not even rest usually, there's always loads of homework due on Monday. I get out of class at 3 every day, do a minimum of 5 HRS of homework and extracurriculars, because that's basically a requirement where I live, so that and travel time. If I'm lucky I go to bed at 8:30, add in eating, cooking, and chores, I can go to sleep at 10:30. This is leaving no real personal or relaxing time, and then it takes a while to fall asleep due to the crippling anxiety of how much work I have to do tomorrow. I barely sleep really. Also, most homework doesn't really help me. I do well regardless of homework and actually study my preferred way on my own time, 1 to 2 HRS a day that were not factored in. Please end this. I'm in high school, I can study and learn without being babysat with useless busy work. I'm a teacher, my policy is homework is whatever the student didn't complete during class time. I never assign additional work to take home. I've done my research and it's just as important for students to go outside and play, hang out with their friends, eat dinner with their families, and go to bed early. I think this contributes to learning in beneficial ways and keeps them being healthy and happy. Homework was invented as a punishment for students. Get that sh*t outta here. Homework history, https://college-homework-help.org/blog/who invented homework and why. My geography teacher literally gave me homework twice, ever, and this was because she was so good that it was my best subject, because I could study whenever I wanted it. And she did all in class. I think there's a balance somewhere, like with most things. I understand the need to practice what they've learned, but I also don't think a kid should be spending hours every night on homework either. And kids these days do so much, especially high schoolers. They're in clubs, sports, band, jobs, volunteering, etc. etc. It's a lot of pressure. I know a lot of those things aren't required like school, but so many of these kids competing to get into a college or something don't see them that way. And then you end up with kids who are so stressed from the pressure they end up burning out. I've read studies showing that up until about high school, Homework doesn't actually improve student grades. Actually allowing your kids time to socialize and get some exercise works. Spend time with your kids. I also know that a determined parent could cover more content at home than what kids at school get. There'd be personal attention, a comfortable environment and less distractions. Most schools are under-equipped, have budget issues, stressed staff, and teachers have way too much admin to focus on what they're passionate about, education. Combine that with an outdated curriculum that hasn't moved on from the Industrial Revolution and you're setting your kids back years. Put another way, the government's interest in your child's education is in how that young person will grow up to earn it some tax money. The government is the training manager of future labor for the benefit of corporations. Homework is like taking your work home, and they want kids to get used to the idea of working for 8 hours or more, and that working hard will be rewarded with success.